So the typical clientele would be any job seeker of a professional corporate job like IT, accounting, sales, marketing, or HR, especially those who have been laid off from jobs or newcomers into the country, or even those who are on the job for a number of years and it's time for them to catch up on their value in the market. So they are upgrading their jobs. And I work with coaches in Canada.
Welcome to Career Coaching Secrets, the podcast where we talk with successful career coaches on how they built their success and the hard lessons they learned along the way. My name is Davis Nguyen, and I'm the founder of Purple Circle, where we help career coaches scale their business to $100,000 years, $100,000 months, and even $100,000 weeks. Before Purple Circle, I've grown several 7- and 8-figure career coaching businesses myself, and have been a consultant at 2 career coaching businesses that are doing over $100 million each. Whether you're an established coach or building your practice for the first time, you'll discover the secrets to elevating your coaching business.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Career Coaching Secrets Podcast. I'm your host, Rejan. Today's guest is Coach Mo, a job search coach who helps professionals land their next empowering role faster, easier, and with greater confidence. With more than 20 years of experience at Tier 1 consulting firms and industry-leading organizations, along with over a decade of emotional intelligence and coaching training, Mo has guided over 2,300 professionals through career transitions. His approach blends strategy, self-awareness, equipping clients to break through barriers, elevate their career accomplishments, and secure opportunities they might have not thought possible. And it's a pleasure for me to have him on the podcast today. Welcome to the show, Mo.
Thank you so much, Rejan. Thank you. I'm happy to be with you and share myself with your audience.
It's a real pleasure to have you. I really wanted to get our conversation started, and I know we met earlier too, but when it comes to your coaching business, which we're talking a little bit earlier about too, it's called Be to Have. It's been around for more than 17 years that you've worked on it. What inspired you initially to become a coach and then start your own coaching business, Be to Have?
Okay, that's a great question, and I have a bit of a story to it. I'll take you to 2008. And I am attending my first emotional intelligence and personal development program. And I am walking into a room with another 150 individuals. I know I came to the program to resolve some of my stresses in my work environment. But as I walk in, I'm skeptical with these numbers of people if it's going to work for me, right? So you see, 2 months earlier to that, I'm going into my physician's office for my annual physical, and the doctor measures my blood pressure and she looks different and she tells me, you have a high blood pressure than normal for your age, so come and see me in 2 months, and if it isn't normal, I will have to put you on pills. Right? So fast forward the 2 months again, I'm sitting in her office, she's measuring my blood pressure and she looks puzzled, and she tells me, your blood pressure is normal, did you take any pills? And then I smiled and I said, no, I just got coaching. She was still puzzled. She asked, like, what type of coaching does that in 2 months, right? And so the confidence I got out of these programs, right, that I can deal with almost anything in my life, right, that inspired me, and I want that for other people also as well. So I want this for everyone. That's why I picked up on being a coach.
Interesting. And so, and it's been such a long time till 2008 and 2025 where we're at now. Coaching might have even evolved over the years too, from your perspective as well. So throughout the years of working with your clients, going through the coaching journey with them, what about it would you say you find most rewarding?
Well, let's say that in that journey, I started more than 10 years ago, and I started it as a volunteer, right? And I wasn't doing it anything professional. And then I discovered that when I do it volunteer, I do it on my own time and schedule, and then I would give somebody half an hour. That half an hour might not be enough to get them to a new job. So I decided to switch it. Now it's been 5 years plus to a professional coaching program. I have my own coaching program. Now, what is rewarding about that is the joy of that a job seeker gets more than what they actually possibly thought was possible, and more than what they would settle into on their own. So you see, for me, it's not about getting a job or even the next career step. It's about what is now possible in their lives, having gotten that job. So that may look like somebody who needs the job and status and money to get married, or somebody who wants to buy a house, but the old job did not provide the finances for that, or somebody who would like to go on a dream vacation and waiting for that job to happen.
And so for the clients that you're working with right now, we might have the right people listening because we have two audiences in this podcast. One audience is other coaches that are listening to the show, and another audience is the audiences of the coaches we've had on the show before. So we've borrowed some of their audience because they've shared the podcast episode with their LinkedIn profiles or with their email list. So what I mean by that is we might have the right audience listening, which could work with you. So how would you describe the ideal client profile that you typically serve, and what's it like to work with them? What is the engagement they have with you?
So the typical clientele would be any job seeker of a professional corporate job like IT, accounting, sales, marketing, or HR, especially those who have been laid off from jobs, or newcomers into the country, or even those who are on the job for a number of years and it's time for them to catch up on their value in the market. So they are upgrading their jobs. And I work with coaches in Canada, the United States mainly, and the Middle East, GCC countries, they're what's called the Gulf Council countries in the Middle East. The experience of coaching with me, or what I can help them transform, is couple of things. One, the transformation from finding a job and being very tight to a result of finding a job to find a match and what you have designed as a career on what's the next. So it's not about getting the job, it's about finding the match. And if you find the match, the job falls normally into place. That's one thing. The second thing is transforming that idea that my job is only available on job posts and I have to wait for the job to be on a job board, right? That's carving your job in networking and reaching the job that may not even have been advertised yet or would never be advertised. So that's the second thing. And the third thing is a transformation from taking something which is a job for me and for my life, right, to work, to giving something. So how do you present your contribution to the world and to the industry you're part of, and how do you present value in your field of work that when the employer sees the value, then they're giving you also what you want, right? I have a couple of offering that suitable for the situation of the job seekers, for example. So I have the flagship preparatory program. I call it the 12-week or 8-12-week one-on-one coaching program, where I take the job seeker all the way, and we're partners and in a companionship all the way from what I call pre-resume. So even before they get to the resume, through the resume, and all the way to actually signing a job. So we are together. So the 8 weeks version is for somebody who is out of job, so they can put a lot of time onto the program and more hours. And the 12 weeks version is for somebody who is already in a job and upgrading, so they have other things to do. So it's because they are contributing less time. That is the one-on-one. And then there is also the Udemy online course. So that online course has two flavors, one on Udemy and one on my online store. And this is suitable for, or I would say that's a starter for anybody who's out of a job, because we all understand that there's a financial crunch once you're out of a job. And I hear a lot of complaints or speculations that coaching is expensive. So because I come from a background of IT and solutions, I made sure there is solutions also for everyone. So that Udemy course is suitable for anyone across the world, no matter which country they're from, no matter what income they are bound by. So if they're looking for a professional job anywhere in the world, $30 course should not be, should not break the bank, if you wish.
Absolutely. And for all the coaches who are listening, Right now, when it comes to marketing yourself, where do clients find you? Is there some sort of a marketing channel that works really well for you?
Well, the obvious one, I guess, for many is LinkedIn, because from LinkedIn, you can know what people are doing. They can know their history. They even turn on open for work. You can know if they've been there for a number of years in the job. So I use primarily, and the referrals. Referrals are that works very well for me, especially that today I'm in the transition from doing career coaching as a part-time to a full-time. So for me to also control the capacity on a part-time engagement, referrals were working better for me. Up till today, even referrals are working well, because then you are channeled to the coach through a trusted person. So people don't have to think about either the value or the risk of losing their money for no value.
And the good thing about referrals is that they're like a testament of the thing, like the coaching really well. So they're willing to put their name out there and recommend you because they've gotten so much good results from it. And when you mentioned LinkedIn, is actually one of the main channels that a lot of coaches are utilizing. So it does make a lot of sense. Now, when the future for the next 1 to 3 years, do you have any specific goals or business goals that you're working towards of?
Well, the primary one, as I was sharing, that the transition a part-time job hunt coach to a full-time, obviously I very much love what I do, and I want to be able to serve more people, especially in the one-on-one. So that is time consuming. So I want to put more time over there so that I can serve more people. Set for myself certain goals to with myself. How many people did I make a difference with? So if you ask me, I want to be serving a minimum job seekers via my one-to-one program every year, and I would love to increase that. Okay, obviously there's an involvement from me one-on-one, so there is time constraints over there, but at least 50 is my target for this year, and then I'll see into increasing it a year after the other. And for the online course, because it's a global course, I would like to serve a minimum of 500 people who our jobs who sign up and complete my course via Udemy or the online store.
How long has it been on Udemy?
It's been on Udemy for 2 years now. We're at probably 5K plus students, and a decent 4.8 plus rating for the course.
Beautiful. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
I more than 150 reviews.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So right now, when going through your like further growing the coaching business, I also wanted to talk to you about investments. What have been some investments you've done in the coaching business that you feel really good about? Either you learned a lot or got a good return from, and what have been some investments that you would have preferred to have avoided if there's any bad investments as well?
Okay, that's a wider question. So let's start by investing in one's first, and that machine, needs to be oiled all the time, so to be productive and all this stuff. So the self-development programs, there is no limit to where we stop growing as human beings. So I have to be involved in the conversation, and I have to be involved in the conversation of emotional intelligence and personal development, and involved in the conversation of being also in the market. That's why when I work as a part-time job, my full-time job is, a principal IT consultant. So I am in the market with the coaches. I am getting interviewed as well. I sit with certain clients as a project manager and hire people. So I'm both ends, and I always want to keep that so that I can get them a fresh perspective of where the market is moving. So that's one thing. The other thing is, going mainly on LinkedIn as a channel, getting tuned to what people are talking about, what job seekers care about, what companies are doing, following if there is like a trend in layoffs or something like that. And one other thing that works is obviously sitting on as a panelist on either webinars for that help job seekers answer questions that are bothering them, or situations where they can't get around in their job hunt journey, or as simple as sitting on a podcast like this with you, trying to put the word out there and telling job seekers that they're not alone, and there are people that are dedicating their life to make a difference for them, right? And just letting them know where the channels are and which doors to knock on.
Yeah. Interesting. And when it comes to bad investments, is there any of those as well?
Bad investments. Nothing comes in mind specifically that I haven't. I was relying a lot on the referral side of things. So I didn't actually get to invest and get burnt on any of the investments. There's obviously running costs for any coach, the marketing platforms, the LinkedIn, if you want to get a sales navigator or something. These are all running costs. That's there. I'm the biggest bang on the buck over there. I still think a little bit behind that, and part of the reason is that I wasn't advertising publicly for a good chunk of time.
Yeah. It makes sense, actually. It's a thing also that you haven't gotten burned as well. It's not that we're hoping that everyone gets burned, but I've heard so many coaches get burned through either marketing agencies or like with this new thing that's supposed to work and scale your business within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
These crazy offers that people will make, but often don't deliver because they're too good to be true.
I can tell you I got that elsewhere, not in a coaching business, but another business and even a personal investment. And there's a lot of, high promises, short delivery. Yes, there's a couple of things that I had outside of the coaching that's made me more cautious on to invest on the coaching side because I am doing my full due diligence on that. And I'm asking my vendors to present some sort of value or share the journey with me. And I do that with my coachees. For example, the program that I was talking about, one-on-one, we engage for 3 months. I don't ask my coachees to pay upfront the entire 3 months worth of work. I break it down for them so that they see value and they pay based on the value that they're seeing.
And so, I also wanted to touch upon challenges as a coach. What is the next big challenge that you're trying to solve for in your coaching business right now?
Okay. The challenge that I have identified for myself is the following. I usually typically tell my network and even job seekers that you will hardly pick a job hunt coach or a career coach off an advertisement. The same way you would not pick a real estate agent for selling or buying a house off a bus stop This is somebody who's putting their career, which is very sacred and significant for them, into one's hand. So the challenge here is to earn the trust of the seekers to be able to hand you their career to channel. You sit them in the co-pilot seat, telling them what left and right, and they trust you that left is not going to end up off the cliff. So that's the biggest challenge. And then comes with the social media and all the stuff is the accessibility and being available to people and putting content and the interaction out there to let them know that there is somebody committed to make a difference in their life.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. Thank you much for sharing that, Mo. And my final question is there's a lot of coaches who are looking to scale their coaching business, and by scale, basically growing their coaching business without having to put more hours into it. And they're mostly driven by impact. So in your case, you're also making quite a bit of an impact yourself through helping people with their job search. Is there any advice you'd like to give to coaches who want to scale their impact?
Absolutely. And I'll give an advice from my emotional intelligence training that I got over there that I believe sometimes you can classify it under marketing, but it's beyond marketing. So share yourself and the value beyond the regular and common channels. So share. It takes a little bit of patience and be authentic and bold at the same time, because not all job seekers are aware of the value of coaching. So if you and I are committed, we have to invite them again and again and again and not despair, and have patience to invite them over and over.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mo. So much for coming to my podcast today. For anyone who wants to connect with you or find you, they can go into LinkedIn and look up Coach Mo. They'll be able to find your profile. They can also go to the website, if I'm not mistaken, is b2have.ca, which is the website. Is that correct?
That's correct. And on the LinkedIn, you should see the same T-shirt, the green one.
Yeah.
So you'll that it's color.
Cool. And so, yeah, is there any other way people could reach out to you or connect with you?
We have, B2Have also has a channel on YouTube, so people can check that channel and subscribe to the channel. LinkedIn, I guess, for job seekers, if you don't have a LinkedIn profile or your LinkedIn profile is not as active in today's world, that's a must. So I believe that's the closest way to get in touch with me.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mo. Thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you so much, Regin. I really appreciate it. Thank you for what you guys are doing as a team. Thank you for giving us the opportunity. And thank you for being our mic to the open world. I really appreciate anyone's effort who gets into the business of doing podcasts and that. Thank you for the connections.
Thank you. We're grateful for your time too.
That's it for this episode of Career Coaching Secrets. If you enjoyed this conversation, you can subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you're listening to this episode to catch future episodes. This podcast was brought to you by Purple Circle, where we help career coaches scale their business to $100,000 years, $100,000 months, or even $100,000 weeks, all without burning out and making sure that you're making the impact and having the life that you want. To learn more about our community and how we can help you, visit joinpurplecircle.com.